Hello everybody. So this is your alternative project. If you are missing your assignment for your landscape, this is what you could create to replace that missing grade or low grade that you had. So basically it is the same parameters as it was when we made it in metal. We're just making it out of cardboard. So a couple of things I want you to remember is you got to create space, depth of field, meaning you have to layer the metal so it looks like things are going back in a distance. So things that are further away are going to be smaller, and as they get closer, they're going to get bigger further down the page, and then also have more details and more contrast. Okay, so the landscape is totally up to you. You can be inspired by something that you've seen, an image that you took, or you can totally make it up out of your head. It can be surrealistic, it can be realistic, it can be cartoony. The important thing is that you want to create depth of field, depth of space, and then anything that would be going back in perspective, make sure you do that. So I'll have a couple tutorials and info on how to make that happen as well. So what I have here is I have my parts stacked on top of one another, and I'm going to attach them. Now I can attach them straight onto one another, or I could use these little spacers that I've created. And what these are, they're just corrugated cardboard that's been cut up, and what I can do is I can stack them in between the layers to create some negative space, kind of like a spacer tube rivet like we did in metal smithing. And so the type of cardboard that I've used is just your basic cardboard box. All right. Sometimes I ripped off parts of the writing because I didn't want to see it, and you'll see that when it's done, and I left out some of the corrugated parts for texture, which was kind of a fun little detail. And then I've also used, just a cereal box that I've kind of cut up. Now these two materials are different, but both suitable for this project. The one is going to be stiffer and more sturdy. This one's going to be less stiff, but offers itself the opportunity to bend and come out into space a little bit more. So you make that decision of what you want to use and what's also available to you. All right, so what I used to cut this with was a combination of scissors, box cutter, X-Acto blades. You can use one of them or all of the three. Scissors are a little bit tricky to cut the corrugated cardboard, but it's still possible. Your hand just gets a little tired. A box cutter works too, but please be careful. Don't cut it towards yourself or your finger. Remember that demo from before. Okay, then what I'm going to use to attach it is I'm going to use a glue gun because that's what I have on hand. Now, you can use any kind of glue. Glue gun, tacky glue, Elmer's glue, it all works fine. And if you don't have glue, you can use tape, all right? So it's up to you. I think a glue gun would be the easiest because it's the quickest and you don't have to wait for it to dry. Okay, so now, what I have here is my pieces colored also. So if you want to add color to your project, you do that after you cut everything out, you start adding color. Okay, it's almost like you're adding the patina before you attach it, okay? You want to add the color before you permanently attach it, or it will be harder to do. So I've used my daughter's crayons, toddler crayons that is, because that's what I have available. And then I used a Sharpie marker. You can use paint, colored pencils, whatever you have available, okay? So let's get started, and I'm gonna go ahead and start assembling this. I'm gonna use a time lapse so it's not so boring, but you'll get the hang of what I'm doing, okay? All right. Okay, so I know that was a quick movie, but I wanted you to see the process. So it'll take you about probably a half hour to glue those things together. So I have this all glued up. And now when I'm done with this, I'm gonna go ahead back over this and add some more details over here, and maybe add some shading and darkening with my crayons and my Sharpie marker where I feel like I need it. And then I'll probably call it a day. Notice this is not square. Remember, same parameters. I don't want you to make it square. So go ahead, give it a shot. Good luck, and excited to see what you make. All right, holla back.